Hey out there, and welcome. I'm Kate, and thanks for being here, and welcome to the All the Little Things practice of the day. Today we're going to focus on the littler parts of our body, right? Fingers, hands, feet, toes, calves, those places that really need to stretch, but we don't generally go to right away because our hips and our shoulders are screaming more loudly. So we're going to move through some things to stretch those smaller bits, and we'll hit some of the more popular poses as well. So a couple of blocks. If you want them, they're always great to have around anytime, anywhere. Why not? A blanket if you'd like that as well, or a towel. Find a quiet spot, roll out your mat, and let's do this. All right, so we're gonna start in a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. This is gonna be about a 20-minute practice. So we're gonna drop right in, get as comfortable as you can here. A blanket or a block underneath you works. Close your eyes, let your hands rest on your legs where they feel comfortable, and just start to breathe. To become aware of that breath and present to your inhale and your exhale. And I know we're focusing on the little things today, and the breath is no small thing in your practice. So don't forget to check in now and again, as often as you can, with the rhythm of your breath, with the grounding and the presence it brings as you move through your practice. And feel that breath become more steady. Your shoulders even more relaxed. And the muscles in your cheeks and jaw too. And take another breath here. When the exhale comes, drop your chin to your chest. And with your head bowed, feel your arms kind of pull toward the backs of your sockets. So your shoulder blades hug gently in toward each other. Not so you're like super crunched back there, but so there's an engaged action through your upper back and an opening across your chest underneath your collarbones. Well, now that good stuff. And just shake your head a little bit side to side. When you inhale, roll your right ear up over your right shoulder. Give it a little shake there, just side to side, nice and easy. And roll down, chin to chest, and come on up to the other side. And give a little shake there. Same thing, just loosening it up a little bit. And then roll back down through center, chin to chest. When you inhale, this time you're gonna take your chin and sweep it toward your right shoulder. So you're kind of looking at your right shoulder. And then roll your right ear over that shoulder. So now we're back in that side stretch through the neck. And just gently, carefully, you're gonna roll your head back and all the way around. Snap, crackle, pop, until your left ear hovers over your left shoulder. And pause. And then you're gonna sweep your chin to that left shoulder. And then roll your chin back down to your chest. And we're gonna switch directions. So chin's gonna go toward that left shoulder. Roll your left ear up and over. And then roll back, around, and over to the right. That's it. Spin your chin to the right, and then down to your chest as you bow your head. One more to the right side, spin that chin to the right, and roll your ear over your shoulder. Let your head drop back slowly and carefully. Pop, 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 pop. It's like popcorn in there. And let your left ear hover over your left shoulder. Hopefully you're not hearing the same thing. And then you're gonna take your chin toward that left shoulder and drop down chin to chest. And last time over to the left, same thing, spin your chin to the left and then left ear over your shoulder. And then let your head drop down and back until your right ear hovers. And then spin your chin to the right. And drop your chin to the chest here. And pause there, shake your head a little bit. Keep that energy on your upper back so those shoulder blades still gently hugging in. And on your next inhale, you're gonna lift your head. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. Bring your head back through the middle and take your gaze over your left shoulder. And then back through the middle. All right, now you're gonna take your gaze straight up and take your hands and just let them kind of rest on your breastbone here. You're gonna pull down a little bit, like you could pull the skin of your chest. I mean, actually, it's kind of what you're doing, right? You're kind of weighting your chest down as you reach up into your chin. Get a nice stretch to the front of your neck, into your throat. And then come back through the middle one more time. Take your gaze over that right shoulder just to kind of bring it back through center and over to the left. And our neck is like small, right? It's a small part of our body, but there's so much going on. You've got it like holding up this big old weight. So it needs a lot of work sometimes. All right, so from here, you're gonna come onto all fours. Oh, goodness. And you can use a blanket underneath your knees if you want. And from here, you're just gonna take your hands underneath your shoulders. And we're gonna keep the forefingers and that ridge line right underneath your fingers on the floor. And you're just gonna lift the heels of your hands up. Yep. And then you're gonna set them down. And bring them up. Set them down. And just keep going with that. Kind of warming up the wrists, getting your forearms pumping. If you wanna kind of increase the speed, you can always increase the speed. Flapping your wings. Just getting a little warmth going there. Or, you know, maybe a lot of warmth. Just notice if your shoulders start to get tight, try to keep them relaxed, but your arms straight, right? Don't let yourself jellyfish. That could be fun too, but not right now. All right, and then you're gonna drop the heels of your hands to the mat. Take your fingertips out to the side so they face the long edges, and you're gonna rock, shifting your weight from side to side, kind of testing the waters here. That's it. And then you can start to roll some circles over those wrists, out and around. You got it. And then come back to center, and you can stay right here. If this is giving you a substantial amount of stretch through the front of your wrists and your forearms, and you can absolutely stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper into it, you're going to spin your fingertips around toward your knees or somewhere in that vicinity. They may not go all the way around, and that's all right. Wherever you land, same idea. Core is strong, but shoulders stay soft. And then you're just going to peel the heel of your right hand up for a minute. Heel of your left. And just let yourself kind of go side to side. Ooh, working those wrists. Oh, yeah. You got it. One more each side. Okay, then you're gonna walk your knees in toward your fingertips. Tuck your toes under. And then as you sit your hips back, you're gonna peel the heels of your hands up. Give yourself a moment. We're just gonna shake out those wrists. Couple of flicks. Some Harry Potter spells that we cast. I know, I did it. I do it every time. And then shake it out again. All right, then you're gonna interlace your fingers while you're here, right? And from here, you're just gonna do some figure eights because it feels good with your knuckles. And then we're gonna go in the opposite direction. Oh, brain takes a minute. There's a little bit of brain lag there. That's okay. Other direction. Maybe your toes are screaming for mercy. If they are, you can come up off the toes at any point. And then shake it out again. And then you're gonna bring yourself forward back onto your hands and knees and tap out the tops of your feet. Okay, and then lift up your feet. Now roll out those ankles, point and flex for a second here. Oh, yeah. Okay? All right, so now you're gonna take the backs of your hands to the mat. Fingertips point in toward each other. And Okay, soften your elbows. Shoulders stay kind of engaged on the back, right? Core is always working here. And then curl your fingers into fists. Oh, everybody's favorite. And then stretch them out. And you're gonna curl them into fists. And now you're gonna keep this meaty part of your wrist on the floor, right? But you're gonna see if you can bend your elbows, like maybe a lot, and lift the knuckles off the mat. So you've got meaty hand wrist action, but everything else is lifted. Curl those fingers in. You've got the fists going, right? You got this. Press into the tops of your hand wrist. And then press. Work to straighten those arms. If you've abandoned ship, that's fine. Abandon ship when you want, when you need, totally fine. And then come back into your table. You're gonna walk your knees in again. Set your hips back on your heels. Hopefully this feels all right. Hopefully. Now from here, you're gonna lean over to your left. So your left hand's gonna shoot out to the side, lean a little bit to the left, and you're gonna grab the top of your right knee and peel it up off the floor. The top of this right foot that's still down, you can kind of grind it into the floor just a bit. I used to call this my anti-stiletto stretch. I haven't worn a pair of stiletto heels in a very long time. So now it's just the anti-foot pain stretch. And then drop. Same thing other side. Lean over to that right side, grab the top of that left knee. You're gonna lift it up off the floor. Press into the top of your foot if you want a little more juice. Who doesn't like juice? Everybody raises their hand. And from here, you're gonna come back into your table. All right, take your right foot, stretch it straight back behind you, tuck your toes, and then push through your heel. Really root into your hands and really give a good what for into that back foot. And you're gonna kind of press off the ball of your foot, push yourself forward, and then let yourself seesaw forward and back. So you're kind of rolling up and off the toes, but we've got the foot working, we've got the ankle working, even the wrists a little bit here. Hands still kind of gripped into the floor. You got it. And then you're gonna shoulders over those wrists, lift your right foot up, and then just draw it forward. Blocks onto your hands if you want them. We're gonna step this right foot up. Pop onto your fingertips. You can use the blocks here. And we're gonna rock a little bit forward and back. So we got a little draw back, and then a little dip forward. Let's be gentle. And then sink your hips down, press into those fingertips, lift your chest. Here we go. So now you're gonna slide your right foot back a little bit so it's in a little bit closer. Come all the way upright. Shoulders, hips, knee stacked, all good. Right hand to the top of your right thigh. Lengthen your tailbone down. Take your left arm, reach it straight up right alongside your ear. And you're gonna hook that tailbone toward the floor, lengthen up, and then take a lean over to the side. You can bend your left elbow, hug your bicep in toward your ear, and then take your gaze up and toward that left elbow. A little stretch into that psoas, that outer left hip, and then back up through. Plant both hands. You're gonna step back into downward facing dog. And give yourself a moment when you get there to kind of pedal it out. You got it. All right, so now you're gonna give a big bend to that left knee, turbo bend to the left knee, and then a little baby bend to the right knee. Keep your hands rooted. Keep that Hastasana, that lock with the hands, right? You're gonna grip into the floor. Keep that right knee slightly bent, but send your right heel back and down, like you could lengthen out the bottom of your foot. Hopefully this is deep into some calf love. And then regular old downward facing dog. You're gonna switch. Big old bend to that right knee, little tiny bend to the left, and then send that left heel back and down. Like you could stretch the sole of your foot toward the back of your mat. Downward facing dog. And then come on forward into plank. You're gonna lower your knees. And a little baby chaturanga, chest and chin forward, elbows hug in, lower yourself all the way down. And then a baby cobra, curl it up. And float your hands up off the mat. So these aren't baby muscles. And they don't feel like they are right now, right? But you want to feel the muscles between your shoulder blades, lift and draw in. Feel those muscles along the length of your spine, those erector muscles. We're trying to strengthen them here so we don't continue to kind of fold forward. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Press into the floor. Come on up into your table. Here we go. Left foot, kick it straight back. Tuck your toes, push to the heel, and really stretch back into that left heel. Then we're gonna add those little rocks, right? Forward and back so we can move into the foot, but also into the ankle. Kind of dig in with the ball of the foot and then roll over. Make it as dramatic as you want. You can even kind of roll over the toes. I don't know, why not? Yes, okay. And then shift your shoulders back over those wrists. Keep the floor gripped. Lift that left leg up, core strong. Step that left foot up between your thumbs. And pop onto your fingertips and just give yourself a moment to rock back and forth. Just easing in. You got it. And then sink your hips, lift your chest. Make it a little more dramatic here. And then slide your left leg in a little closer. So when you come upright, you're still stacked. Shoulders, hips, knee. Left hand's gonna come to that left thigh. Lengthen up, tailbone long. Feel the front of this right thigh kind of stretch down into the floor. From here, you're gonna pull up through those right fingertips and draw yourself over to that left side. And you can bend your right elbow once you get there. Hug your elbow in toward your ear and then slide your gaze up and kind of back toward that elbow. So we're peeling this right side body up and then back. All right, stretch it up. Plant your hands. We're gonna step it back again, downward facing dog. This time you're gonna take your right foot, step it forward an inch or two. Dial those toes out 45 degrees. You wanna keep your right leg straight. Press through the outer edge of that right foot and then bend your left knee. Yep. Keep working your outer right hip up and back. And as you bend your left knee, you can start to then sag your left hip. Arms still strong. Push the floor away. And then we switch. Step that right foot back. Left foot's going to step forward a hair. Open those toes. Keep your left leg straight. So you don't want to go so far forward that you're like jammed up. Right? And as you press through the pinky toe edge of that left foot, you're going to soften your right knee, shoulder blades in your back. Don't forget the strength through your arms. And then maybe you want to start to dip the hip too. Left hip pulls up and back. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. Take your gaze forward and you're just going to tiptoe all the way up. And fold there. Can sway a little bit side to side. All right, and then from here, you're gonna take your hands underneath your feet for Pada Hastasana. So you're gonna step on those feet. Fingertips back toward your heels. Toes right up to that wrist crease. Or you can give yourself a little massage with your toes. Unless you're totally grossed out by your feet, then you're probably puking somewhere. All right, press into your feet. Oh, feel your spine lengthen, crown of your head drop toward the floor. Bend your elbows, soften your knees if you need to. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and fold. I'm gonna release those hands out from underneath you. One more halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Press into your feet, come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. And dive right back over your legs. We're gonna do a quick vinyasa just to kind of clear it all out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk it back. Take your right leg, lift it up, sweep it back. Point and flex for a moment here. Roll out that ankle, wiggle your toes. Then you're gonna step that right foot forward, find a warrior two, and windmill it up. And when you get up into your warrior two, you're gonna roll out your wrists. And then take them in the other direction. You got it. And then from here, you're gonna kind of flex your fingertips up toward the ceiling, push through the heels of your hands, like you were gonna stop the walls of that like trash compactor in Star Wars. They're coming at you. Keep them open. Yes, and then straighten your front leg. Let's go for a triangle pose. Feel that right hip pull in. And stay a little bit out of it, right? If your tendency is to go really low and kind of blop around, that's good sometimes, but stay a little bit higher so you can feel that length through that right side body. And you can keep the stress and the strain out of your neck. Full breath here. When you exhale, you're gonna windmill this top hand down to the floor. Pivot on the ball of your back foot, then drop your outer edge of your back foot to the floor on the pinky toe, right? And then like toe heel this right foot in a bit, and you're gonna drop to the outer edge of your right foot, sink your hips. Not a small place, not a small stretch, but feel your chest lift. And then swing it through, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward into plank. When you exhale, lower all the way down. Baby Cobra, curl it up, float those hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pull it up, stretch it back. Left leg's gonna lift. Inhale, reach it up. Give yourself a moment to roll out your ankle, point, flex, all that good stuff. And then step that foot up between your thumbs. Find your warrior two. Spin it open. So your feet are a little bit more awake maybe than they normally are, right? We did all those stretches in the beginning. So feel where your feet can press into the mat. Yes, and then same deal. We're gonna kind of make fists, roll it out. Yep. And then make those same, give yourself that same stretch through the heels of your hands. Then you're gonna drop your fingertips. Press the backs of your hands toward the wall too. And then straighten your leg. Chikanasana. I don't know what I was gonna call it, something else. You're gonna pull your heels in toward each other even here. And let your left side lengthen out and over your left thigh. And if you wanna take it easy on your neck, you can take your gaze down. Nice full breath here. I'm gonna windmill this top hand down to the floor. Pivot on the ball of that right foot, drop all the way over into the outer edge, scooch your left foot toward the middle of the mat, and maybe a little bit in front, and then sink your right hip to the floor. And you can reach that left hand long or take it to the inner thigh here. Just working into this outer hip. Spin it back through, downward facing dog. A couple of breaths here. And then drop your feet or your knees to the floor. Take them wide, big toes together. Walk your hips back to your heels and rest. Find an extended child's pose. And walk your hands underneath you. You're going to keep yourself forward here, or keep your knees wide, right? And then take your fingertips back behind you. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and you can hang right here. If you want a little bit more of a back bendy kind of front opening, you can press into your shins, lift your hips. Take your gaze up or let it drop back. And then drop your hips to the floor. All right, here we go. Knees come together. Slide your feet to one side, stretch your legs out. And we're gonna do a couple of butt walks, and then we're gonna lay down. So you're gonna start to walk your feet forward. We haven't done this in a really long time. And this just kind of works your muscles a little bit. Oh, feels good. And then back it up. Back it up. All right, now you want to find a way to get yourself so you're toward the top edge of your mat. You got it. And then you're going to draw your knees into your chest. Check out the area behind you and roll it down. And make some small circles here on your back. Let your knees rock side to side. You can windshield wiper your knees if you want. Let them go. Whatever feels good. To get a little twist into your spine, a little release. Yeah. And then back in through center, take your knees wide, hug them in, and as you kind of pull on your knees, lengthen your tailbone, your sitting bones down into the floor like you could flatten out your spine. And then stretch your legs out. We're going to take about a minute here. As always, if you have longer and you want to stay longer, that's entirely up to you. Totally encouraged. And deepen your breath. Move your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock your head side to side. Rub your thumb across your fingertips. Yes. And then draw your knees in. Roll to your right and come on up. Make your way into a comfortable seat. Pause there. Bring your palms together to Anjali Mudra and bow your head and honor all the little things. Not just your fingers and your toes and the little parts of your body, but the little things in life that bring joy, that bring a smile to your face, that hot cup of coffee in the morning, that is no small thing. Have a wonderful day, and you being here is no small thing to me, so thank you as always for watching, for being here. Drop a comment below and, like, subscribe, share with a friend. It's all good. I'll see you next time.